Hi guys, welcome back to Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. This is your host, Iggy. Yay! Guys, today we're going to go back to the Wild West and take a look at some Cowboys and Indians made by Timmy Toys. Now, some of you might be old enough to remember Timmy Toys. They used to dominate toy aisles in supermarkets and drugstore or pharmacist stores. At Woolworths, etc. They were in business for quite a while. They were doing quite well in the 1950s, but by 2005, they were forced to shutter their doors. I believe their factory was located in Aurora, Illinois. I would have to look that up. I'm not positive of that. But they're now being manufactured by BMC. BMC has taken up the Timmy Toy brand, and they're re-releasing the items that Timmy used to feature. And they're made in Scranton. No, not Scranton. Old Forge, Pennsylvania. And you can see here this set. I was very excited when I got this set. I love the poses. Now, these figures are actually 3 inches tall, so they're bigger than Mark's figures. Mark's figures are generally, I think their Indians are like 2 1/4, and their Cowboys are 2.5 inches, or 1/32 scale, which would be 2.5 inches. These are 76 millimeter. Or 3 inches tall. And I'll compare them to other figures in different scales so you can get some idea of what we're talking about here. Now, this represents all the poses that Timmy originally had, except for their mounted figures. They did have a couple poses that were on horseback, which is not included in this set. But you've probably seen these in a smaller scale done in China or Hong Kong, wherever they came from. And it is a joy, or a treat rather, to see them in this scale. Let's see how it stacks up, though, with other items. Let's take this cowboy. And I'll put them next to this building here. Now, this is a resin kit by a company called Streets of Laredo. I don't believe they're in business any longer. But you can see that it fits quite well with that. By the way, it's doubtful if an Old West building would have had a plate glass window like this. That would have been super expensive. I'm sure that maybe some companies had the money to ship stuff like that. Like a bar that had a big mirror behind the bar was probably doing quite well. And a lot of times they would have a portrait of a semi-nude woman and behind the bar. I wish I had one of those for my cowboy kitchen. That would be awesome. I don't know where I would put it, though. I mean, everything is pretty much, space is taken up here. I don't know. Anyway, so you see it works well with that. And this building is comparable in size to the Western buildings that Toy Soldier San Diego produced for their Wyatt Earp figures and cowboy figures. So it works very well with this, and also with the Toy Soldier San Diego. Now, if you come over here, let's walk over here. Okay, now this is a Britain's Detail. And you can see that this figure is he's a giant compared to this. This, of course, works very well with Detail Cowboys and Indians. But not so much with this scale. I can't get him inside. His head hits the top of the... well, there we go. Can you see that? he's slightly too large for it. He would hit his head on the door jamb. So there would be no dramatic, and everyone put your hands up. He wouldn't be able to do that because he would walk in and, ow, my head. So that wouldn't work out too well for them. So let's bring this figure out of here again and compare him to some other figures, okay? So we said that this is 3 inches. This one here is 2. And this is BMC reproduced this. I think it's an MPC Rev War figure. And then this is a Timmy done by BMC, and he's 1/32 scale. And let me put this cowboy behind him so you can get an idea. The cowboy, well, it's hard to tell there, but the cowboy is actually taller. 1/32 scale is 2.5 inches. So let's take a look at the figures, and the figures are what I like to refer to as Hollywood Cowboys and Indians. They are done up in a sort of 1950s cowboy and Indian. I have a book here that I'm going to share with you, and it's by, I don't know how you say his name. I think he's Swedish, but is Leslie Reedstrom. And he wrote this book. He's also the artist. He's got some great illustrations here. And we'll take a look at some Native Americans, and you can see right away that what I have up here does not in any way compare to, okay, you can see here these guys are quite different. This guy would be quite fashionable on the beach now. He's with this little tiny outfit he's got on there. Have you ever been to the beach and seen those old men wearing black Speedos and their gut is like gigantic hanging over their Speedo, and they stand there like they're super proud of their body? And I'm like, God, I hope I never do that. Although my body does look like that now. But I wouldn't be caught dead in a Speedo. Okay. And here's some Apaches. It looks like they're wearing Ugg boots, so these guys are also very stylish. He's wearing some sort of smock. And then these are Sitting Bull, and you got Curly, a Crow Indian Scout, and I don't know how to say that. Brule. See the USA in the Brule today. So as you can see, this Indian might be close, and that guy there, so they may not be too bad. This fella up here has the sort of diaper looking thing going on, so maybe that's not too inauthentic. The cowboys, however, they do look like they stepped out of a Gunsmoke episode. Here's Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. You can see they're dressed quite differently than the cowboys that I have up here. Maybe I should take one of these cowboys down so you can get a better idea. Wyatt Earp actually moved to the Los Angeles area, and they have I think a junior high school or a high school named after him. But then because of the drive to be inclusive, all the schools named after white heroes are being obliterated. They're changing the names because you just can't have that. I mean, oh, look. You know, you probably wonder, what do they do after work? Well, they just hang out. This guy here, Tom Horn, I think he was accused of killing a teenager. And he claimed that he didn't do it, but they hung him anyway. And it was quite a spectacle. This is Butch Cassidy. And you're all aware of the movie of that name. When was that? 1969? And look at these beauties. And there's Billy the Kid. He's wearing a sweater over his vest. There's only one known picture of Billy the Kid, but recently another photograph has surfaced. It's not a close-up of him, but it's actually Billy the Kid standing in front of a cabin or something. And it's been, I think they verified that it was him. So now there's several images of Billy the Kid. And you see these cowboys, they don't look like these guys up here. These, like I said, are sort of 1950s looking cowboys. Guys, I don't know about you, but this is very unappealing to me. These are called hurdy-gurdy gals, 1870 to 1880. They look like they have BO. And I'm trying to be polite and not say anything further. I don't know. I could be out on the range for years without seeing a woman and still not want to touch any of this. That's just me, though. Everybody's different, but oh my goodness, no thank you. I think I would throw up or something. He also has soldiers in here and Civil War soldiers. The book is rather complete. It's a very good book. I recommend this to you. Okay, so this is our Timmy toy by BMC. And you can get this off of the BMC website, but also they're selling these on other toy soldier websites as well. And they might even be in stores. I'm not sure. I would have to look around, maybe in the dollar, well, probably not the dollar store, because these are like $17, I think. So probably not the dollar store, but they may be in other areas. They're pretty cool. I like them. And I think these would work well with Auburn Rubber Company figures, which are also tall like this. And Auburn Rubber Company released a cabin that these figures would work perfectly with. So that's something to keep in mind too. If you are a collector of Auburn Rubber Company Cowboys and Indians, these would complement those very well for you. So I do recommend these. I was very pleased with this set, and I enjoyed looking at each of the figures. Of course, the Cowboys come in the sort of a reddish brown and this ivory color, and the Native Americans or Indians. By the way, I talked to a guy who was, I think he was a Seminole Indian, and I asked him, do you prefer Native Americans? No, I want to be called an Indian. And I said, then why are we told that we have to call you Native Americans? And he said, that's racist white liberals who want to call us that. And I'm like, oh, well, I won't say anything further then. I'm sorry. So I also talked to an Apache, and he said the same thing, that he prefers to be called an Indian. So there you have it. But someone is always offended, right? You can't say anything anymore without someone, ooh, I'm offended. So you gotta be careful what you do, and I don't want to get canceled, so I'm going to say Native American just to be on the safe side. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you. Let's put our fella in front of this store over here. Did I show you the inside of the store? That's pretty cool. I have some furniture that I bought from BMC that's a reproduction of some old Mark's Western playset furniture. And as soon as I find out where I put it, I will do a video utilizing these two buildings. The furniture, I think, would go better with this one than this one, but we'll see. All right, guys, so that's Timmy Toy, produced, distributed by BMC. And that's all I got for you this time. I'll see you back at Roy's Ranch, and we'll have a barbecue, throw some brats on the grill, and you guys can have your adult beverages, and I'll have a Diet Coke, and we'll have a good time. Make sure you bring a sack of toy soldier with you so we can set up a battle. That would be epic. Do you remember playing in the dirt and you would bury soldiers and stuff? Have you ever wondered, if you went back to where you used to live, if you could dig in the dirt and find some of those old soldiers? I actually thought about doing that because there was a tree I used to play under. It was an avocado tree, and it used to grow huge avocados. But anyway, this was in California. And I would bury troops and stuff in there, and because I would put a stick in the ground and then hit the stick, and oops, sorry, I just killed someone, and the dirt would fly up, and I'd go sounds like I just blew my nose. I'm going to do a video about these two, by the way, guys. These are somewhat of a disappointment. I forgot that I had these back in the early 2000s and sold them on eBay. And then I bought them again, and I'm like, oh, I forgot. It was hard to tell in the picture online what these were, and so I ended up buying more of them. But who knows? Maybe I can sell them at the flea market or something for $1. I don't know. Anyway, I went back to where I used to play under the tree, and the tree was chopped down, and they covered it with cement, so I couldn't dig up any of the old soldiers that I used to have. Anyway, that's all I got for you this time, guys. I want to thank you for coming along. Let's do a quick sweep, because I want you guys to know exactly. I think it's great that you got a lot of combat poses here. You got several, one kneeling, one standing, firing arrows. And you guys got creeping up with a tomahawk. And a guy with a spear. And then there's gunfighter scenes for the cowboys. You got a couple with rifles. And one of them's been shot. That's this fella here. Either that, he has indigestion, or a Napoleonic syndrome, where he wants to put his hand into his vest. Didn't Napoleon do that because he had stomach issues? I don't know. It became a fad, though. I guess he started to fad when he posed like that. Then everybody else wanted to pose like that during the Civil War, when they would get their images taken. All right, that's all I got for you this time. I want to thank you for coming along, and I'll see you next time. I think next time, what should I do next? How about some Civil War soldiers? Or have I done too many of those? Let's see what I got. Yeah, let's do this next video, okay? This is CTS Civil War soldiers, distributed by BMC. Okay, guys, take care and have fun.